Hey everybody, an all-new edition of Craft Brewed Sports starting up in just a few minutes here. NFL season is back, so this week we are rating our beers on the 2019 NFL scale from the Bengals to the Chiefs. There's no arguments that could be had in this one. This is basically just exactly how the season ended up, so this is the rating we're going to go with. From the Bengals to the Chiefs, Scott, what are you drinking this week?
This week, I am drinking Don't Call It Hotlanta, which, man, once upon a time, this would have just scared me off just by reading the can. When I saw a quadruple dry hopped IPA, good God! Once upon a time, I mean, this is what, a 5-6 brusher, but it's by Monday Night Brewing out of Atlanta, fittingly enough. And being a Braves fan, I know they don't like it being called Hotlanta. That's what Rooks call that shit. But 8.5%, and this one's smooth. I like this one, and I'm gonna go with the 49ers. Championship, but stumbling here to start, but we'll see if they can maybe hold things down and get that Chiefs trophy.
Okay, all right. Drew, what do you got in your mug tonight?
Well, I want to ask Scott, is it 49ers or is it what is it, the Michael Vick's Atlanta Falcons, or is that putting the bar too high? Because I had that beer in my personal shipment. It's damn good.
Yeah, no, it's pretty solid. It's just that I don't want to get too far ahead of myself because it tastes really smooth to start, but I'm wondering if that bitterness is going to creep up on me later.
It's going to get you.
I got you.
Fair enough.
Right on.
Drew, what do you got?
Kind of like the 49ers in the Super Bowl. Fast start and then...
Tonight I'm rocking the Sticky Hands, the Hop Experience Ale out of Block 15 Brewing Company. This one is solid, man. I was talking to y'all pre-show. I told you I actually already had this a couple times in my personal shipment as well. I'm looking forward to having it yet again. The best part about it to me is it's not only canned fresh, but it's best before yesterday. So figure that shit out. On the NFL scale, I'm going to go with, this is a Seattle Seahawks. And as much as I hate Pete Carroll's bitch ass, it's a quality brew. It's smooth, it's dependable, it's tasty and delicious. And I'll tell you what, man, it got some dang to it. So you know what I'm saying? Like, that's why we're going with them CL, the Seahawks, with this Sticky Hands IPA.
Fair enough. This week I am drinking Braggart's Brown from Diebolt Brewing in Denver, Colorado. And this one is nothing like the Broncos. This one is solid. I don't know if I'm ready to crown it a Super Bowl champion yet, but I think it has the potential to get people excited at least through the regular season. So I'm gonna call this one the Ravens to start with. Just a brew that is gonna come out strong. It's gonna make the playoffs, and you got a playmaker, and who knows what could happen with that playmaker. So we will see how this one holds up. We'll see how all these beers hold up. All new edition of Craft Brewed Sports starting up right now. It is Wednesday night. It is time to crack a brew and join us here on Craft Brewed Sports, home of the drunkest sports takes on the internet. I am Mike. With me, as always, is Scott. Scott, how you feeling tonight?
Feeling great. Feeling good. How are you?
Terrific, man. NFL football is back. I didn't think we would see this, but here we are, the day before the NFL season. I guess there's still time. There's still time for COVID to ruin this, but not yet, right? We are likely to see some NFL games tomorrow.
It's the least exciting start to the NFL season in the history of the NFL.
That's a bold claim, my friend. Very bold claim. Because I know a few people who are very excited, Robert Taylor being one of them. Super pumped for the NFL season to start up. Also with us, as always, is Drew. Drew, how you feeling, man?
I'm feeling good, man. First weekend of college football did me and my wallet well, so I'm excited that the fall is going to be here and in full swing before we know it, boys.
Not so good for me or Scott. We will get to our picks a little bit later as well. Little rough start to the season for Scott and I in our picks. Drew started off pretty good. We'll have a new round of picks for you this week. Also, Drew's drafting tonight. Drew's got a fantasy football draft that's happening coming up in about 20 minutes. So he's just going to interrupt during the show and do whatever he wants and draft throughout the show. Also, we got some hot takes that we're going to grill up on the barbecue. Scott's going to do that hockey. And I have finished phase 2 of the MCU. So we're going to give you a new MCU power ranking coming up later on. And if there's time, we'll stick to sports. We'll see. I don't know. I don't know if we'll have time.
Are we going to bother talking about that last episode of Hard COVID?
I feel like we should. Talk about
fine.
it. Like, we got to talk a little bit about it, right? We can't do 4 recaps and then bail on the last episode. Right. So I guess we'll talk about that. Maybe. We'll see.
All I know is this draft is already fucked because I got the 5th pick in a 12-team snake. So shoot me in the face.
Nah,
Yeah.
I did that the other day. You got this, baby.
We got your back,
It's the
Drew.
worst part, being in the middle of the round in a snake. It's just, you got to always pay attention, but it's too much to pay attention to.
I can't wait till Drew gets auto-drafted because he's in the middle of a soapbox speech and he doesn't realize it's his turn
Oh,
to
you
draft.
know what's going to happen. That's why you got to make heavy use of the queue, man. Make heavy use of that player's queue, folks.
All right, well, let's get into On Deck here. On Deck, as always, brought to you by Beer Drop. Look, everybody, if you want award-winning craft beers delivered straight to your door, starting at under $4 a serving, our dudes at Beer Drop can hook you up. Fill out your flavor profile, sign up for one of their monthly plans, and they will curate a box of fresh award-winning craft beer that will be sent directly to your door. You can swap out beers, add more, or skip a month. And if you don't like commitment, you can still head on over there and order your beers for a $5 flat shipping. Head on over to craftbrewsports.com/beerdrop. That's craftbrewsports.com/beerdrop for $5 free shipping. All right.
Suck a dick, Dave Yost, you piece of shit.
Yes,
Dave
for
Yost.
the Ohio Attorney General, who is trying to ban internet beer sales here in Ohio. He's got
grandstanding to try to get reelected. That fuck.
Is that an elected position or is that an appointed position?
It is an elected position because Ohio distributors donated $30,000 to his fucking re-election campaign a week prior to him coming out the new policy that's making it hard for wonderful companies like Beer Drop to ship us tasty, delicious beers from all over these great United States. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, he is not only fucking American business, he's fucking small business. Woo.
And there's Drew. That's the first soapbox of the night.
Mookie doesn't know.
Mookie doesn't know. Mookie, since you're on fire, why don't you go ahead and lead off On Deck for us tonight?
Charge. I gotta say, man, things are just lining up real well today in general, the way this is all working about. Apparently, I'm already on fire. I'm drafting tonight for my team called Flaming Garbage. Also was previously named Flaming Shit. And our first story of this week all just kind of dovetails together with that because honestly, like, there's really not much else to say other than that the Browns' number 2 wide receiver had a really eventful week? Question mark. I don't know. I could dig into the details. I could give you quotes. I could, go through all of that. But let's just be honest, man. All anyone really wants to talk about is the fact that OBJ had a woman come out in public today, or not today, it was earlier this week, and say that during their coital visits, he asked and enjoys her defecating on him. Yes. And for basically 85 to 95% of our audience, that means he wanted her to poop on him, drip, 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 all night long, sing that song, shit on you. He wants to get pooped on. And it's like being in Cleveland and playing for that garbage football team wasn't enough. He actually wants his lovers to shit all over him because that's how OBJ gets down. I think the most telling point about this entire story is this shit, pun not intended, but appreciated, went down this week, and his camp has said nothing. Absolutely silent. Like, I have not seen any statements put out or anything, but I have seen this story pop up in all kinds of forums. So it's true.
Well, and here's the thing. So he did have something, like he had some Instagram post that said it was like him and his girlfriend that came out, and he was like, I'm with her through all the shit they throw at us, which was well played. I thought that was pretty solid on his part. But do you realize who it was that broke this story? Do you know who it was that said this?
It was some thought.
Yes,
Oh, it was
some
definitely
thought
some thought.
the same. It was the same thoughts that said they blew all of the Phoenix Suns.
Was it the same ones?
Yes,
I didn't
it's the
recognize
same
that.
ones. I
Oh
think
my
they've
God.
basically just realized, hey, all we have to do is talk about crazy sex stories, and people are going to tune into our shit. Literally.
Wait, was it the same show or the same woman?
I think it was
'Cause
the same woman.
We need to get her on
via
the
the
air.
same
Did
show.
you hear what she said though?
Yeah.
No, I
This-
stopped
this
reading
dude-
once it said that that OBJ wanted her to shit on him. Like
Well,
I didn't
yeah,
need to
but
hear
it was
anything
just
else.
Like a 1 minute and a half clip or something. But apparently, it's not just that. Like before they met up, he had sent her a text and was like, "Hey, I want a video of you taking a shit." And so she filmed herself shitting and sent it to it. She was like, "Yeah, I tried to make it sexy.
Yeah.
And I'm just trying to figure out like how you make shitting sexy on video and how OBJ gets in and is like, yeah, that's it right there. That is it right there." And he's like, he's like, you know what? Next time I'm gonna need you to eat a little Taco Bell before you do it because I like it to be a little runnier than that. But you know, that was pretty solid out the gate.
He also told her, he was like, "Hey, when you come on the airplane, don't wear underwear and don't shower for 24 hours before you leave."
Yeah, I
It's
forgot
like,
about that part.
Now, here's the thing. I think this is all I don't believe any of this for a second. I think this is all just to get clicks and views and listens, and I'm actually jealous of this strategy, and I'm gonna start making up my own celebrity sex stories as well to try to get us some popularity, right?
Yeah, well, for one, we all know you ain't getting any. For two, like this is real, man. This is absolutely real because let's just be honest. What else are you gonna do in Cleveland? Like at a certain point, you run through all the normal fetishes, and you gotta go on to something else. Like he's stuck there at least 6 months a year between training camp practices and all that. And so, yeah, you're eventually going to get to the poop stuff. Like he ran through like the popping balloons and foot fetishes a long time ago. So like, this is real, Robert Taylor, looking at you. I mean, come on now.
I just don't understand.
You're the gullible one here. God, you think he's making this?
Why this dude is always being talked about for stuff that has nothing to do with football? Like as Robert
Every
mentioned,
time.
it's like there's always been the gay thing that has followed him around, and then I mean the only legit thing that's happened off the field where it was questionable was when they went and partied just before that playoff game and lost. But I mean, other than that, I mean the rest of it's all just been rumors and innuendo, and there's been no hard firm evidence. And I'm just wondering why anybody really gives a shit about OBJ. Like,
hey,
when he plays, when he plays, he's fine. He's a really good talent or whatever.
He's all right. He's
I mean, like he's like right now, if his career ended today, it'd be like, yeah, I remember him for a few flashy plays and one-handed catches.
No,
Really
one flashy play.
Like, has he done
honestly,
anything?
If dude
that
doesn't make
worthy?
that catch against the Cowboys, he would be doing this stuff to get his name in the media because he would be broke and like not in the league.
Like,
what
OBJ
I don't understand,
makes me miss Chad Johnson. I never thought I would say
Wow, that's a statement right
and you
there.
know what, man?
Seriously.
The thing about Chad Johnson is dude was a legit FIFA player. Respect.
All right, and soccer talk means it's time to move on and on deck.
That's right.
I know the audience. I got you, audience. I got you. We're gonna go from.
All I gotta say is eat a dick, Robert Taylor.
We're gonna go from pooping to peeing because we're just super mature here on Craft Brewed Sports.
We know our audience, as you say.
This story broke last night. So LeBron went off last night, had a hell of a game for the Lakers. Lakers in prime position in the bubble. They started off a little shaky in the bubble, and they dropped their first playoff game, and since then have looked solid, especially on the back of Rondo. They've basically turned it around and looking great. So LeBron did his post-game press conference, and at the end of it, he started to walk away. He had his shirt untucked, and he looks down at his shirt, and he realizes there's a yellow stain right around where the crotch, where if his shirt was tucked in, where his crotch was. So basically people are saying LeBron peed himself. They don't know if it happened during the game. They don't know if it happened during the press conference or during the post-game interview, whatever. But he takes it out. He sees the stain. He laughs. He shows it to AD. They laugh together. Then AD gives him a 5. I'm going to pull up a picture here just so that you guys can see what this image looks like. This is the moment when LeBron realized the stain was on his shirt, and you can't quite see it in the picture, But there he is realizing there's a stain right at his crotch. Everybody saying LeBron James peed himself. So guys, I gotta know, do you think LeBron James pissed his pants at some point during the game last night?
Yes. I mean, at least we've got evidence. This is much better than the OBJ thing. At least we can see something here, and it clearly looks like piss. Just add this to the list of things that MJ never did.
How do you know? He just never got caught doing it.
The Bulls had black and red on their unis. I don't
Nah,
think they
man,
ever had white shorts.
It would have come up in The Last Dance. You know it would have.
No, it wouldn't have. MJ controlled the narrative.
Control. You kidding me now?
Yeah, come on now. He definitely. I feel like every athlete at some point has pissed during a game, like on themselves, right?
But in basketball, though, come on, man.
I mean, think about. Well, that's a good point, though, man. Because you could actually duck out to go pee in the locker room, like, you know what I mean, when you're rotated out for a substitution or whatever, right? Like, they're out for a minute or two. Like, he could find a way, because even though there's no fans, there's still commercial breaks.
Look, all I know is Wayne Gretzky pissed on himself during a hockey game, so I feel
different.
like
You got all kinds of pads to take off.
great ones pee themselves. That's all I'm saying. Great ones piss themselves during a game because they're so focused on the game. That's all they could do. I just got to let this go. Doesn't matter. JB saying yes, next story. Fair enough. Listen to the audience. Scott, you are on deck. Also, JB said he parked Ocho Cinco's orange Lambo once. Damn. All right, Scott, you up. What do you got?
You guys are a tough act to follow. We got shitting and pissing, and here I come with just a regular old news story, but is it news? I'm not really sure. Colin Kaepernick's back in Madden.
Cap.
Bam! We've brought Kaep back in the news, and so has EA Sports. They announced yesterday that he is a free agent in this year's Madden, the first time since 2016. He's rated an 81, which they worked closely with Colin, and they factored in the fact that he hasn't played in a few years to come to that number, which, you know, that's all that really matters. Being in Madden is one thing, what your rating is another. The fact that he's an 81 is kind of hilarious because when he left, he somehow was a 76. So after not playing for 4 years now, he got better in Madden? I'm not really sure how that works. That makes me think that a few things are at play, and it's basically confirmed by EA in a roundabout way that racism was a huge factor, and they wanted no part about that the first time that I'm out, and they were just, you know, dinging his rating because of the pressure that was coming from everybody else that had nothing to do with actual football or his skill on the football field. But even funnier to me when this story broke was that EA Sports apologized for the few tracks that have appeared in Madden games that edited out Colin Kaepernick's name. And it was, of course, a very flimsy apology where they're like, it was something where the developers didn't know that even though we lost the license to use his likeness, we could still use his name in the song.
That's bullshit.
Yeah.
That is fucking bullshit.
It was complete and utter bullshit.
You got to be kidding me, developers. Yeah, of course they're going to blame us engineers, motherfuckers.
And to add to all that, I think it's hilarious the timing that now EA Sports decides, oh, yeah, this would be a good time to add Colin. They couldn't do it over the last couple years when he was still, you know, technically a member of the league, regardless of whether or not he was a part of a team. But now, when everything is clear, it's kind of like the NFL. Oh, yeah, Black Lives Matter now. Now it's cool. We'll let you do all the social.
Well, Ed.
Okay,
I was going to say, Ed's comment nailed it, Scott. As much as I wish I believed that's why EA did it, no.
What's that? No.
They're getting hammered for the glitches in Madden this year. Like, it is people are petitioning.
Oh no, you didn't let me get to the best.
We
my
didn't
bad.
let him. We don't. Hey,
no.
We don't want to be accused of that here. Let's Scott to get to him.
Now, nobody factored in the fact that Madden has been garbage for at least 15 years and running. Not even Colin Kaepernick can save this game from itself.
Who's Colin Kaepernick?
You heard me, son. Collar.
Whoa, Gio's got him feeling real punchy, huh?
This
son.
This quadruple hop is kicking.
Hey, young man.
I told you that Hotlanta is the shit.
Listen, young man. Listen, young man.
I got something to tell you.
Come around here and get that carburetor fixed. But anyway, yeah. So Madden's been garbage forever. Like it doesn't matter what they do. They could give me $50 inside the case when I buy the game, basically making it a $10 purchase, and I wouldn't want to do it. Madden sucks.
It's
and
terrible.
So the fact that they're trying to boost sales by throwing Kaepernick out there, I mean, I'm sure that they'll get a few people who just want to, experience the fact that Colin's back in it. But once they realize that the game is dog shit, they're going to put it on the shelf and let it collect dust like every other copy of Madden should have been doing for the past 15 years.
Did you see?
You know what?
Did you see who Kaepernick is rated higher than with his 81 overall rating?
I did see who he was higher than. Hold on a second. I want to bring up that list.
Yeah, I got it for you if you want. I pulled it up.
Oh, well, yeah, I was going to say, I had the list right here too. He's better
I do not have the list.
Ryan Tannehill, Cam Newton, Baker Mayfield, Kyler Murray, Jared Goff, which is the funniest one to me, Joe Burrow, which he's
bullshit. No, that's bullshit.
and Teddy Two Gloves Bridgewater down there in Carolina.
I don't know about that one. Teddy Two Gloves is solid.
Yeah, but it's weird that you can leave the game at a 76, which would put him only above Teddy Bridgewater in this case and tied with Joe Burrow and Jared Goff, but yet not play a single down and throw a pass for 4 years and come back and be an 81 and better than all of those current starting quarterbacks. Like, don't get me wrong. I definitely think that Colin should have been playing football the last 4 years, but I'm not really sure that he'd be better than any of the guys that have been playing, like even off the street right now. Like,
And
it would take him some time to earn.
Well, hold on, Scott. I think that's where you're wrong. I think a lot of this honestly has to do with the fact that quarterback play in the NFL is dog shit lately.
No, and I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm just saying if you're going to have all of those guys kind of situated down there, I think him being somewhere in that mix makes a little bit more sense than him being above them. Like, as much as I think that all those quarterbacks, they're not very good, I don't know how you can say, well, they've been playing football and somehow Colin's better than them.
Not only is he better than those 17
knocked around and they're seeing ghosts.
Not only is he better than those 17, he's also tied in ratings with Ben Roethlisberger, Kirk Cousins, and Phillip Rivers. Like, those are big time names that
Phillip Rivers.
Yeah, they got Phillip Rivers at an 81. He's just behind Rivers at 82. I'm sorry.
Also, the ratings people at Madden are reactionary as fuck. Like, just looking at that list, I'm guessing just off the top of my head, I have no idea, that Baker Mayfield was probably rated way higher than a 78 last year, just based off the hype coming into year two. And Cam Newton, who just won the MVP a few years ago, gets injured and all of a sudden he's a 78. Like, come on.
Well, I think they realize that he's going to the Patriots and the Bill's going to screw him over, so his rating isn't going to be that great anyways. This has been On Deck. What a good On Deck. And Scott, you were worried about that, man, but you handled that story that wasn't about pooping or peeing. Well done, man. I'm proud of you. Good job.
Thank you.
This is On Deck, brought to you by Beer Drop. Again, craftbrewsports.com/beer drop. Get $5 flat shipping on your order. Sign up today, craftbrewsports.com/beer drop. All right, fellas, it is that time, the time that everybody gets excited for every single week. It is time for us to do that hockey.
As they say in hockey, woo-hoo-hoo. Let's do that hockey.
Let's do that hockey.
Scott, let's go to you first. Let's give you the floor here to give us a breakdown. What are you seeing from the bubble? What are you liking over the last week? Your boys had a very rough week since our last show. But what are you seeing? What's your report from the bubble?
It's a little tough in the bubble, man. I was a little sad when the Avs lost that game 7, because I thought for sure they were going to keep that momentum going and close things out, but they lost that heartbreaker in OT. So I got to pour one out for my boys next year though. But then it's okay because Dallas got cock slapped, so they got what they deserved. That series is tied 2-2 with Vegas Knights. Unfortunately, Dallas moved on, but it's okay because Vegas is going to take care of them. And then, Tampa Bay and the New Islanders, their series is they're going strong, but Tampa Bay and New Islanders playing right now. Tampa Bay leading that one. We'll see how that goes. But Tampa Bay coming out with 8 in that first game. That was impressive.
Ooh, that was
Yeah.
big. And that leads.
I was gonna ask him about that too, but he already dropped the knowledge right there.
Yeah,
I was gonna ask him if there was gonna be any bro brack on the Tampa Bay thrashing. But
now
he
the
already
interesting
nailed that.
thing will be is if they find a way to blow this one. Like you come out strong, they could still find a way to choke that series away. So we'll have to keep an eye on Tampa Bay in that one.
Well, and that leads me to my first question here, Scott. So Tampa Bay destroys the Islanders in their first game. They get 8 goals in that one. They chase Thomas Greiss in the first period before shellacking Seaman Varlamov. Was this an aberration or just the case of the more talented team finally showing up?
Well, that's what we kind of talked about last week. Tampa Bay on paper has all the talent in the world, but they just never seem to put it together. And at least for one night, they clearly did. I mean, you don't score 8 goals accidentally. That's domination. That's like 3 weeks worth of goals for some teams, Red Wings. So it's clear that they're
Fair.
the more talented team in this series. But again, it's whether or not they're going to choke it away. They're down 1-0 right now, so. You're only as good as your goalie for that night. So we'll see how they handle the things.
Do you think the Islanders, and you mentioned that the Islanders are up 1-0 right now. Do you think the Islanders defense can slow down that Lightning offense long term, like throughout the series, or is Braden Point and Nikita Kucherov just too much to handle?
Wow.
I'm impressed because that name, I know that name. You nailed it.
Yep,
Look at you.
sure did. Booyah! Nailed it.
Because Kucherov sounds like Coochie.
Cooch.
Mike ain't gonna
It's
forget
Cooch.
that.
It's my man Cooch. I can't mess up Cooch. Come on. You got Cooch in here. I got this.
To keep it serious and reining back in, answer your question. It's one of those things when you give up 8 goals, it's easy to turn the page. You're just like, well, got shellacked. And next game, you don't even worry about it. You didn't lose by 1. It was an overtime. It wasn't a heartbreaker. When you get your ass handed to you, it's easy to just kind of move on. So you don't worry about what they got going in that one game. You just worry about trying to figure out ways to let it not happen again. I mean, already scoring a goal, so that's better than the first game. So I don't think the Islanders are intimidated by the Lightning at all. But again, Tampa Bay is definitely the more talented team. It's just whether or not they're going to choke it away.
Matt Stanton wants to know.
Go ahead. Ask that question.
What team does Labatt Poutine play for?
Toronto. Because I mean, those 2 Canadian things, right? I mean, you got to be if your name is Labatt Poutine, you would definitely play on one of the Canadian teams. I know that's not a real player, but if that sounds like a player that I would create in an NHL EA Sports game, if you will.
If anything, though, Scott, that guy, he ain't making it to the bigs. He's fighting it out in the beer league somewhere.
Yeah, but I mean, he's getting all the ladies with a name like.
Oh, you
Labatt
betcha
Poutine.
he is. Yeah.
Besides, I would totally rock a jersey that said Poutine on the back.
I would say this is the Eastbound and Down version of a hockey player. Is really what that is.
He would be a
the Kenny
goon.
Powers of the hockey.
He
the
would be a
NHL.
goon for sure, just out there with one skate, just going around, falling down a lot, up against the boards, bracing himself. Yeah, no
Dude,
doubt.
I'll tell you what, man. We watched Happy Gilmore this last weekend, and that still holds up.
What a great
it's
hockey movie
fantastic.
that is. Such a good hockey movie.
He still holds those 2 records, don't you know? So, Scott, I do have a serious question for you here. Do you think that the way that Yanni Gourde's goal got called would ever work in other sports?
No, there's just no way that any other sport can handle the uniqueness that hockey provides with a goal like that.
Well done.
Next question.
Keeping it vague.
Scott, the Stars and the Golden Knights, they've played 2 games, each resulted in a shutout. Was this the kind of defensive struggle you were expecting in that series?
No, mostly because I feel like the Knights have a better offense than that. So I'm hoping that they're able to put an 8-0 spot up on Dallas to get revenge for my abs. So I'm with Lil John the rest of the way. It's Golden Knights or nothing, baby.
What do you think the biggest difference was between Game 1 and Game 2 with Vegas's strategy there? How do you think their lineup change may have impacted things?
Yeah, you got me on that one. I missed the lineup change.
Your boy Ryan Reeves is back on the bench after serving his 1-game suspension.
Oh man, one of the black players at hockey. I mean,
There
that
you
sounds-
go. Hey,
That
figured it
sounds
out, yeah.
that sounds right. I mean, they're always trying to hold the man down, so it's not shocking that they're quick to put him on the bench.
Well, to be fair,
said,
he
"Ah,
did
you
kind of
got me."
decapitate a man at the end of the previous series.
Yeah, but I
So,
mean, probably deserved it. It's
but-
fine. He won't play for 4 years. He'll come back in a few years and be higher rated than he was before.
Yeah, see, there you go. Exactly. Yeah, it'll be all right. It'll work out.
Yeah.
I mean, he played for the Canucks anyways. Who gives a shit, right?
Yeah, amen to that.
But see, that's what's funny to me though, and to not do that hockey, but take it serious for a moment. There is value in having enforcer. Oh shit, I'm drafting. All right,
Oh,
go, Scott.
whoa. Hang on. Drew
Hold on a
got a
second.
draft.
Oh nope, I lied. The draft just started. It's not actually my pick.
Oh, you ruined
Yeah,
it.
man.
You interrupted
Fuck.
do that hockey for till
You-
I know. I'm sorry. I was gonna say enforcers have a place in hockey because the Stars were taking runs at all of Vegas's talent players game 1, but when Ryan Reeves was back on the bench, they backed off because they know I would have to pay if I fuck something up here.
Do you realize how quick I got to that sound cue, Drew?
That
I had
was
to like
impressive.
shift
All right, wait, 2
monitors.
picks. Oh, I'm about to be up here. We're
All
pick
right,
4.
okay.
Temperate garbage is on deck. We've got Kamara on the board, Derrick Henry, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Michael Thomas, Devontae Adams.
Who are you?
Don't take the Chief.
Who are you leaning towards in your first pick
Well,
here, Drew?
so the ESPN Fantasy Ultimate Draft Guide says go best running back available round 1 and 2 because of the lack of depth at running back. Get those early. There's wide receivers for days.
There really are.
Well, I know
Which
a
now
sweet.
I'm really hoping I threw out the link to the podcast to everyone in the draft, and now I'm really hoping they're not listening because I'm giving away my entire strategy.
I
here.
know a sweet running back staring over Scott Shorter right now who you could pick up pretty easily.
Oh, Gio. Let me see if I can scroll far enough down in the 2 minutes I get to make my pick to grab that guy.
Ed's saying to pick
It says pick
Kaepernick.
Kaepernick.
Oh, I'm on the board.
All right,
Kamara went off the board.
I say go Joe Burrow. That's
We've
your
got
pick.
Derrick
He's the future
Henry, the
rookie of
Chiefs
the year,
kid,
MVP.
Michael Thomas, Devontae Adams, Dalvin. Man, these running backs.
There's
suck.
also a lack of
Yeah.
tight ends, so I think George Kittle is a good pick in this spot.
Also,
Honestly,
Joe
he's-
Burrow,
he's
number 1
top
overall.
3.
He went number 1 overall in the NFL draft. Why
did.
wouldn't he go number 1 overall in your draft? Come on, Drew. Joe
and he's
Burrow.
number 1 in Mike's heart.
Future rookie of the year, future MVP, future Super Bowl MVP.
I mean, here's the thing.
Future
We could
Super
go
Bowl champ.
Michael Thomas, because there's wide receivers for days, but there ain't no Michael Thomas. And but there's all these other running backs. They're all basically the same at like the 290s projected. I don't know, man. Yeah, George Kittle here is the 14th rated player, Scott. So that's not a terrible pick, but not at number 5. I think we gotta go Michael Thomas, right?
No. Horrible pick.
Oh, well, I picked him.
All right, Drew goes Michael Thomas against
Michael Thomas,
our advice.
5th pick, yeah.
Terrible advice. Scott, let's get back to doing that hockey.
There's wide receivers for days, so what does he do? Take the first wide
Yep,
receiver.
take it. Yeah, what are you doing?
Goes
Well,
against his
you know.
own strategy.
Yeah, I
immediately.
hope nobody's listening to this because I'm giving away my secrets. Don't pick a wide receiver. Also, I'm going to take a wide receiver.
Well, yeah. In hindsight, that might not have been a great move.
Horrible move.
But who cares? I wasn't going to win the league anyways. Let's be real here.
fifth
Well, you had a
overall
chance
pick.
until just 2 minutes ago.
Oh, right. That decision right there. That one specific decision is going to be what's
Actually, no. It's fine. We can salvage this.
We
got
can
this.
totally
We
get this.
can
Yeah, you're
salvage
right.
this.
Also, if you don't take Joe Burrow in the second round, you're an idiot. Ed wants you to take Ryan Shazier, who just retired today.
Oh, you
did he?
retired?
Yeah, he finally
shit.
announced he officially retired, which
man.
I was convinced that he would not retire after he speared somebody and paralyzed himself. But here you go. There he is retiring.
No, I mean, I kind of figured that it was coming, but there was a little bit of hope. There that
It
he
bothered
would
me,
be
and this
able to come
isn't
back.
just my Bengals fandom hating on Steelers, but it bothered me that people were like rallying around him, and I get it. He was paralyzed and he was walking again. It was a great story, but he did it to himself. Like it was exactly what they tell you not to do. You don't lead with your head. Dude leads with his head and hurts himself, and people are feeling terrible for him. It's like, come
He
on,
led
man.
with his head with the intent to injure. That's the reason why you lead with your head like that. Like,
Exactly. You don't spear somebody, and that's a perfect reason why. Scott, we've seen most of the NHL superstars sent home. Who's left in the bubble that you're looking forward to watching this round and moving forward?
Ryan Reeves.
Fair enough. Do you have a pick for some obscure player who's going to be a breakout star?
George Kittle's ranked higher than Travis Kelce.
Yeah, both in our hearts and in real life. Obscure player? No, I mean it's down to the final four. It's pretty much the stars here. You're not going to get to, and not those stars, because fuck those stars. But you're pretty much only going to get people that shine. You're not going to get too much of has-beens and shooting stars in this round of the hockey finale.
Well done. Well played.
By the way, in ESPN's Ultimate Draft Guide, he says he's willing to make an exception and grab the great Michael Thomas, who outscored the next closest wide receiver by 99 points last season. So suck a dick, you guys.
Like I said, we can salvage your draft, but it was
I know.
dumb.
I know. No, it wasn't a dumb pick when you consider the other pieces out there. They all came with question marks.
That's fair.
Yeah, well, if Drew Brees' arm held up by popsicle sticks falls off, then what?
What's his first name?
There's no Teddy Two Gloves.
No.
There's no Teddy Two Gloves because there's what's his name, the Mormon kid.
Taysom.
Oh no, we're not talking about Taysom Hill.
He's number 2 on the depth chart. He's number 2.
Dear God.
Also, it's amazing that he's number 2 in the depth chart because didn't they just sign Jameis? Like, is Jameis going to be?
Jameis is still in the league.
Yeah, he's in New Orleans, right? I think
we're a better place to get crab legs.
So he's going to be eating that W as number 3 on the depth chart. That's terrible. You can't eat a W and be the clipboard quarterback.
Do you even get to hold a clipboard? A lot
No,
of
I
times
don't think so.
Active on
You're a
game
good
days,
point.
the
Yeah,
third
that's a good
quarterback.
point.
He's gonna be standing there in sweats.
Gabe wanted to know if we've ever done an auction draft. It's pretty interesting. I tend to stay away from anything that relates to auctioning off people. Just not a good.
Good call, Mike. Good call. You know what? I'm going to say, because I was going to say, I've only been in an auction baseball draft, but as we know, there's no black players in that, so I didn't feel guilty.
Safe there. Yeah, you're safe there.
Auctioning off black players in the NFL, not a good idea. Good call.
Man, a lot of wide receivers going off the board now.
Scott,
that's fine. You're going to get George Kittle.
Scott, who's your?
Nope, he just got picked at the 12th pick.
Could have
gotten
him
the first round, George Kittle.
All right, throw it all away. We're done.
All right,
See,
Scott.
that's what I'm saying. I know who I'm drafting against. This is like poker. You don't play the hand you dealt. You play against your opponents. The people I'm drafting against, other than Jessica, who's on this Zoom right now, a bunch of idiots. So I'm playing against them right now. I got to draft against them and what they're going to do.
Scott, one last question for you before we get out of doing that hockey. Who's your Conn Smythe pick for each team?
Jesus, each team?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that. I'm just gonna.
Also, for those, for the listeners who aren't big into hockey, can you explain what that is as well?
Oh, that would be the MVP of each team. Come on, man. That's easy.
Do you have it? Do you have a pick for each team, or nah? You just bailing on that question?
I'm just gonna say. I will just say the captain of each team is my Conn Smythe Trophy winner. Who better to give it to than El Capitan of every team?
Fair enough. This has been Do That Hockey, and we want to give a shout out to our sponsor, Boss Man Brands. Look, everybody, whether you're rocking a hockey playoff beard, a quarantine beard, or you got that baby face like Drew, our friends at Boss Man Brand can help you out. From supplements to help your beard grow stronger and fuller to beard oils, pomades, and conditioners, Boss Man Brand's 4-step process will get your beard looking its absolute best. Even if you don't rock a beard, they got razors and lotions to make sure your shave is buttery smooth. Head on over to craftbrewedsports.com/beard. Use the code SPORTS at checkout and get 15% off your entire order. That's craftbrewedsports.com/beard.
I don't ever think I've seen that video transition of that dude coming out of the box.
Isn't it great, man?
That is fantastic.
Yeah, thank you.
That is me doing that.
Yeah, that's this show doing that hockey is what that is. That is absolutely this show doing that hockey. All right, guys, we got a very special thing that we're gonna do here because it's one of another very favorite segment that people like that we do here on the show. As I vamp a little bit more to find the sound.
You were so on point with the music cue before, and now you're struggling. Come on, man.
Bro. I don't know what I named it. That's the problem. There it is. All
there
right.
it is. Sweet Hawaiian music to take us away.
It is time for Hot Takes BBQ. I scoured Twitter today to find the hottest takes to bring to you guys. So we're going to go through each of these. I got 4 takes for you today. We're going to read each of these, and I want you guys to react. One will react to how hot the take is on a scale from freezer meat all the way to burnt, crispy, well-done steak. And then I want to know if you guys agree.
I got a hot take for you. Lamar Jackson, second round, 4th pick.
Wow, that's
fire.
That's a bold take right there. All right,
Yeah.
so I want to know how hot the take is, and then I want to know if you agree with the take. We kind of
somebody saw the cover of Madden and drafted this year.
Yeah, they did.
All right, first take on Hot Takes Barbecue. This comes from @TheByler, who's this was in response to the ACC coaches saying they've got a proposal to do March Madness where everybody is invited. 346 teams invited into the tournament. And somebody said this would be the best March Madness ever. And @TheByler said, no, it would be 2 extra rounds of terrible, unwatchable blowout games where unpaid athletes unnecessarily increase their risk of injury and virus exposure. If anything, they should make the season's tournament smaller. #hot take.
Wait, so is this just a COVID thing? Like they cancel the season and just do this, or is it like?
No, it's in addition. So it's basically the tournament would be replaced with your 68 teams, and it would be this. The reason why they are looking at doing this is in case something happens where a team needs to cancel part of their season, they need to quarantine, whatever. They don't risk everything because they have to sit out for a week or so. And at the same time, you don't ruin other teams in your conference chances because you have to cancel those games too. So on a scale of freezer meat up to burnt crispy toast, Scott, how's this take rank?
This is tough because in most years I'd be like, this is an awful take by this guy because I've always wanted to just throw them all in there. Why not? I mean, you already have the craziness of some, handful of teams that don't belong there anyway. Why not throw them all in there and see what happens? But I gotta say, it's a pretty decent take. I'm gonna go with that medium rare on this one because it's pretty good. You don't want to risk the safety of guys by adding more teams and unnecessary. Like, I'm not worried about the injury part. Because
on the clock.
Drew's on the clock.
All right, I'm on the clock here.
Sorry,
All right,
sorry.
We've got Nick Chubb, we got Kenyon Drake, Miles Sanders, who apparently is a running back from Philly, Aaron Jones, James Conner.
Nick Chubb.
I think you should take Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow is probably the pick you should go for.
Salvage this with Nick Chubb.
I don't see anyone show up when I search for Bureax.
Oh, you know what? You got to spell it. Go by his first name, Goat. Goat Burrow. Yeah, he's probably
only someone by the name of Thom Brady shows up.
At least it wasn't Brenneman.
But we did get Nick Chubb, Scott. Don't worry.
There you go.
All right, but anyway, Scott, you were saying something about unpaid children playing a game so that old white men can profit or something or other.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm not worried about the whole unpaid part of it. I'm just looking at it from a pure entertainment standpoint. And yeah, I mean, you can't throw out, unless there's something changes between now and then with this whole thing, the idea of having more schools and more people trying to figure all that out, it's probably a bad idea. So it's not the worst take in the world, but,
I'm going to go the opposite way if I can jump in here, Mike.
Absolutely. Please do.
I think it's actually, the take is terrible because the idea is sound. Because think about it this way, right? Like the way that the NCAA tournament takes place is you do, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday games all in the same spot. So you could do like mini bubbles. And if you're testing these kids like the schools in D1 are, where you're testing them 3 times a week, you could have them safe going in the bubble. You could play that pod of like, what would that be? I don't know. I don't do math. I only graduated from Xavier. So like 8 teams or
show
something.
Off.
I was trying to give the UC fans something to
It's overrated, Mike. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, it's really not worth the debt, to tell you. But anyways, they could do this and stage it in bubbles in a way that like week to week you could be safe, and it's at least something. Because I think really the key here is for this year, you're not increasing their injury risk because we ain't playing 30 games. Like, that's just not happening.
Yeah.
And more than anything else, let these kids have something to play for, because I truly hope and believe by that time of year in March, we'll have figured some shit out. We're making strides. We're figuring out treatment stuff. Like, give them something to play for. and minimize the virus. The injury thing ain't going to be a big deal because they're not going to be putting the miles on their legs this year. Even if you play 30 games, you're playing 30 games in your time zone.
I agree with you on that one, Drew. I don't necessarily like the take because I also like the idea of inviting everybody. So I'm kind of against the take. I'm gonna put the take at like rare, but more to the point, I disagree with it because you have to remember these kids missed out on the tournament last year. It was canceled.
That's true.
Like
yeah.
everything was shut down right as the tournament was about to start. So let's do something special this time around to make up for the fact that we didn't have one last year.
Yeah, no, I was thinking that same thing. It's like he's sitting there saying, well, it's unwatchable games. It's like, well,
What the fuck else are you watching?
Well, and these kids didn't get to play
Right.
last year, so why not just do something special and involve everyone? And if everything's supposed to shake out the way it's supposed to shake out, then even if they're quote unquote unwatchable games, it's not as if those teams are going to make it that far anyway. But why not have them in?
Exactly.
We were watching Korean baseball for Christ's sake.
Right.
I mean, come on.
Right.
Also,
People
Drew
were betting on ping pong.
and Drew is people.
What?
I was just going to say,
Who said that?
Also, Drew, Ed is furious at you that you will not take Andy Dalton with any of your picks. Please pick Andy Dalton for Ed. Let's throw the next piece of meat here on the grill. This is from
Also,
T
I'm in
Lamb.
2 picks here. 2 picks.
All right, good.
Oh, I'm on deck here.
Okay,
Let's pause this for a minute.
okay, but I just got up a hot take. You guys can think about it. It's a short
Just
take.
kidding. I'm on the clock. Hold on. We got to make a pick here.
God bless it. All right,
Hey,
fine.
you know
We're
what,
going
man?
back.
All right, so we've still got running backs: James Conner, Melvin Gordon III, Jonathan Taylor on the board. Mike Evans is still there from the wide receivers. DJ Moore, AJ Brown, Allen Robinson II.
This is where
Kenny
you double up.
Galladay.
This is where you double up on that wideout tandem. Since you already went wideout, you might as well get 2 strong ones. You got to go Mike Evans.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Round 3 in the ultimate draft guide is Mike Evans. Now, the only thing to consider, Scott, is
Joe Burrow.
OBJ still on the board.
Joe Burrow. Take Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow is the pick. Why is everybody passing up on the rookie of the year? Take Joe Burrow.
Mike Evans submitted. Boom. All right, there we go. All right, go ahead, Mike. So what's the next hot take?
Furious that you will not take Joe Burrow. All right, here's the next take that we're throwing up on the grill. This is from @TLamb. T-Lamb says the @Miami Heat are going to the finals. #NBA playoffs. #hot take. Drew, let's go to you first. How hot is this take from T-Lamb, considering the take came out after the Heat beat the Bucks? It wasn't before that series ended. This happened like just after that game. So he is saying the Heat are going to the finals. How hot's that take, Drew?
Well, I was going to say freezer meat, but then I pulled up NBA.com just to check where we are on the bracket because I thought we were in the conference finals like we were on hockey. Not quite there yet. I don't know, man. Actually, man.
Okay,
I'm gonna give this. This is a hottish take. This is and I always forget our scale. So like a hot take to me would be something that burns your meat. So I'll give it a 4.
Okay.
Because I think coming out of the
medium well.
Medium well. Because coming out of the Raptors Celtics series, both those teams are playing well, but they're beating each other up. The Heat clearly breezed through the Bucks, which to me is shocking. But Giannis was banged up. I don't know, man. But it's a pretty hot take. I respect it. It was a little bit of a weird time to tweet it right after they won, when you're basically saying, oh, they'll win this next series against an undetermined opponent. But yeah, all right.
Do you agree with the take?
No. That last point is why it's not that hot of a take. Had he made that take prior to the Bucks series, I'd have been like, man, this is he scorched that meat. But instead, he waited until they beat Giannis, and then he wants to say that they're going to go to the finals when they only have to win one more round. I mean, actually, once they got up 2-0 on the Bucks, my first thought was, are the Heat about to make it out of the Eastern Conference and represent the East in the finals? That was my first thought then, and then they won that. So this is a little late. Like I'm gonna give it medium rare because they still would have to beat a very quality opponent to get there. But after you beat the Bucks, it's an easy time to say that.
Exactly, and that's why the take is not that hot. It's you're right. It's a medium take. Make that take at the beginning of the playoffs, and I have much more respect
when the
about
bubble
it.
when the bubble started. If you came out and said, said Heat are making the finals, and we're like,
Well, and here's
look at this guy.
Here's the crazy thing too. Even if you had made it like after the regular season portion ended, I still would have been like, it's not that hot of a take because the Heat were playing great in the bubble. Like they looked awesome.
Right.
If you had said going into the bubble, look, the Heat are coming out and they're making the finals, they're winning the East, I'd be like, damn, all right, hot take, bro. But but I don't disagree. I think the Heat do come out of the East because I'm not that impressed by the Celtics. I'm not that impressed by the Raptors. Both of them have kind of taken some steps back. So I would agree that the Heat are probably.
Drew made a good point, though. It's like those two teams playing each other right now are beating the crap out of one another. So whoever wins that series is going to be all tired and lame, and the Heat are just rolling and ready to go. So that's why I figured they'll just beat whoever.
Also, Jimmy Butler is on a mission, bro. He looks possessed.
Charging people for coffee and getting to the finals. There's no stopping him now, baby.
Fuck my family. I don't want to see him. This is a business trip.
Oh, man. I don't blame him at all about that, though. Family just distracts from the ultimate goal.
Amen.
What I want to know, though, is do you think that, you know how they say the finishing the series early, you get that layoff that hurts sometimes? Do you think that's actually counteracted in the bubble?
No. Well, I was just going to say, I was like, at this point, does it matter? They had, what, a 5-month layoff?
Exactly.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They had a 5-month layoff, and then they were playing constantly every day. And I feel like the Heat series earlier went deeper in the series itself. And so now maybe are they gonna get a little bit lackadaisical where that lack of conditioning catches up?
No, Jimmy is a psycho right now. There's no way they're gonna get lackadaisical, and I think they come out of the East.
You're right. You're right.
I also
charging
suggest
people for coffee is not going to let them slack off.
They should wear those Miami Vice jerseys every game the rest of the way.
Those are so high.
Yes.
I was ready to buy
wearing
one of
those.
Those are fantastic unis. All right,
Dude,
let's.
Do they have a teal though? Like, do they do that in the teal? Because I've seen the black, I've seen the hot pink. Could they get a teal of it?
I don't know if they have a teal.
Yeah, I don't
they
think.
should look into it if they don't.
All right, let's move on here. Let's head on over to at Mr. Max Clark. Let's throw this piece of meat on the old barbecue here. At Mr. Max Clark says, I've had enough with the, quote, ceremonial first pitch at baseball games. Make those things count. Like your team gets the home field advantage, but our first at bat is against 7-time Emmy Award winner Julia Louis-Dreyfus. Hashtag hot take.
Look, he's only saying that because he wants to hit a home run. Fuck, what's her name in Seinfeld? How the hell are you blanking on this?
Elaine.
Thank you. He wants to hit a home run with Elaine. And that's the only way he's going to do it.
Scott, all right, Drew is anti this take. You might as well just take it from here, Drew. You're against this take? You don't think it's that
a terrible
hot?
Fucking take. That's stupid. Baseball tried this dumbass shit with the All-Star game, which we all thought was dumb to begin with, and you're going to do this every fucking game? Get out.
I love it because then you don't see like the little kid throwing from halfway down the grass because he's gonna catch one right back and hit him in the face.
If you still see the little kid throwing from the grass, I'm for it because I want to see him smacked up the middle with a ground ball right in his face. Teach that kid a lesson about life.
Scott, how hot is that take?
This is kind of like the last one where it's like it would be a hot take if 90% of those pitches didn't bounce in the dirt or just go wayward. So it's like, even if you counted, okay, so it would be a 1-0 count to start the game because it was way outside or it skipped right in front of home plate and nobody swings at it. I mean,
Scott.
If these guys were throwing fatties right down the middle and you're like, oh, these are BP fastballs, then I'd say, yeah, that's a pretty hot take because all of a sudden you have guys doing that. But these pitches aren't anywhere near the plate, so who cares?
Scott, you are forgetting the rules of baseball. That ceremonial first pitcher has to face 3 batters.
Oh, I changed my mind. I'm back on board.
Oh, God, I forgot about the stupid rule.
You got Bob from accounting catching the ball from his wife, and then he proposes, and then she's got to face Mike Trout and the top 3 from the order of Los Angeles.
Oh no, that's even better.
Oh.
No, he doesn't catch the ball because Mike Trout hits a dinger slinger. And homeboy never gets to propose because she can't throw a fucking strike or even a ball and get across the plate.
This is just another friendly reminder that Rob Manfred is the worst.
Oh, terrible. Ed wanting to know, how did I know she was Elaine that quickly? Dude, of course I know Julia Louis-Dreyfus is Elaine.
Even my black ass knew that. Come on.
She was also in
guys,
Veep.
but I have been crushing Seinfeld in the quarantine.
I was surprised that Mookie struggled with
I
that.
know. I was shocked by that too.
I'm
mean,
trying
I
to line
get
up my
it.
next pick. There's a lot going on over here, man.
I get
Running
it. I
backs have gotten
understand.
Thin.
How
Wide
long do we have?
receivers
Do we
are
have time to
fat.
get to this last hot take
We got
before your
3
next pick?
picks here.
All right, good. Here we go. Let's get to this next hot take. This one comes from @ButchBaileyRYP, who has a food hot take. Food #hot take time. Fried chicken is manifestly an all-time great food, but it is best when eaten cold, right out of the fridge the next day. Cold fried chicken, greater than hot fresh fried chicken. At the
Fuck this
risk
guy.
at the risk of coming off the wrong way, Drew, why don't we go to you first on the fried chicken hot take? What do you got on this one, Drew? How hot of a take is this one?
Is searing hot peanut oil, because apparently homeboy likes his chicken cold. Like, you dumbass motherfucking idiot. Like, I look, cold fried chicken ain't bad, but it's definitely nothing like hot, fresh out of the fryer fried chicken, dude. Are you kidding me? When you tear open that breast and you just see the steam rising from it, and I'll tell you what, homeboy, I had fried chicken this weekend, and you know what? That shit was hot, and it was hopping.
I'm gonna come with a
Dumbass
hot take of
motherfucker.
my own, thanks to Drew. Get the fuck out of here with the breast. The breast ain't even the best part of the chicken when you're talking about
Well, you
fried
can't
chicken, baby.
crack it. You can't crack the leg. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you gotta give me them legs and thighs, them combos, baby. Fuck them breasts. Breasts are only good off the field, not when it comes to chicken. But this take is pretty bad. I mean, if you like cold fried chicken, that's great. I mean, it's fine. I'll take fried chicken anyway.
Yeah,
I can
but
get
then-
it. But nothing beats a piece of fried chicken
on
that's
deck.
right out of
Okay,
the fryer.
and this is
Nothing.
where this segment always goes wrong. The take itself is super hot. It's a very divisive take. It is.
Oh, I'm on the clock here. All right,
It's a
hold on.
super hot take, but is wrong. It's dead wrong.
It's
Dead
hot.
wrong. So I've got 2 wide receivers and Nick Chubb at running back. I could get Melvin Gordon at running back, Mark Ingram, but I don't feel like that's a good move. Le'Veon Bell, Cam Akers, DeAndre Swift are the running backs available. Wide receivers are thick. Like
Cam
DJ
Akers.
Moore, AJ Brown. Wait, Cam Akers?
Joe Burrow. I think you should pick Joe Burrow. I don't know why nobody is picking Joe Burrow in this goddamn league.
Because
What
you go
bullshit league are you
quarterback
playing
late.
in?
You serious about this though, Scott? Because I was looking at Melvin Ingram, but Cam Akers, I feel like he's solid.
I picked Cam Akers and
I could also get Zach Ertz still though and shore up that tight end slot.
Well, if you have that chance, go ahead and take Ertz.
Or get Joe
You think
Burrow.
Ertz- hold on, let's see where Ertz is mentioned. Oh, Ertz is a round 5 pick.
Joe Burrow.
You know, we're gonna go Cam Akers because running back that we're gonna get really thin there. So all right, Cam Akers, lock it in.
What I was gonna say is what's his name for Baltimore still available at tight end? Andrews.
Yeah.
Mark
Yeah.
Andrews. Okay, then you're good.
Yeah, we've just had
good.
we've had what's his name, Kittle and homeboy from the Chiefs come off the board so far. in tight
I
end,
don't
but
know,
that's
whatever
it.
that guy's name is, doesn't matter.
That
But-
asshole.
yeah, I
I mean,
mean,
you're right, Mike. This is a controversial take, even though the guy's an idiot.
It's a hot take. The take itself is very hot.
Okay,
But the
so-
correct answer is hot fried chicken.
So this is the same thing, kind of. Which is better, hot pizza or cold pizza?
It depends on where it's from. Because there are some places that cold pizza is the worst thing in the world, but there are some places cold pizza ain't that bad of an idea.
That's what I'm saying.
So it depends. You can't say definitively hot pizza is better than cold pizza or vice versa. It all depends on where you get your pizza from.
That's fair.
This has been Hot Take Barbecue. We did have one other one that was thrown in the chat. Robert
Yeah,
Taylor
let's get
says the Clippers and the Lakers are going to go to Game 7. Clippers look like they're about to lock up a finals appearance when out of nowhere, Kawhi rips off his Clippers jersey only to reveal a Lakers jersey heel turn, and he joins the Lakers for the finals. LeBron, Kawhi, and AD heading into the finals against apparently the Heat.
If that were to happen, I would be the most livid I've ever been at anything sports related in
Hey,
my life. Oh God,
I'm a
I'd be
little
so pissed.
confused. So what happens is that LeBron and AD are in the NBA Finals
Yeah,
playing against Jimmy Butler
Yeah.
and the Heat,
yeah.
and then Jimmy takes off his shirt.
No.
revealing-
They're in the Western Conference Finals against the Lakers, and Kawhi takes off his
Oh, I'm
jersey.
on deck again.
Okay, Drew's on deck.
I'm on deck. We got some good wide receiver options here, guys.
You got a
Ooh, I'm on
damn
the
good
clock. I'm on the
quarterback
clock
sitting
here.
out there, and I don't know why you won't take Joe Burrow.
We got
Wait,
we
what
got
about is Ertz and Andrews still there?
Oh no, they must have gotten picked up here recently.
Oh, because I was gonna say you
No.
got to go with one of them.
Yeah, you gotta. Let me see here. Let's look at the draft results. Recently, Ertz got picked. Gronk got picked. Oh Jesus Christ! Mark,
Somebody's
what the
an
fuck are you
idiot.
thinking? Yeah, exactly. Andrews. Hold on. Let me do a little filtering by tight end here.
All right,
Andrews
Drew.
is the next best one, man.
He
Trust
must
me.
be gone. He ain't on the board still. I don't know where
Yeah.
he went. He went way too high apparently.
I would say go Joe Burrow. And while you're
Go
doing
Joe Burrow here. Ertz, Tyler Lockett's a good choice. Keenan Allen. We already got Cam Akers, so that's
I would
that's
go.
solid.
I would go.
We
Lockett.
got all right here. Let me just read down the list real quick here, Scott. So I got Melvin Gordon, Tyler Lockett, what's his name? Calvin Ridley, DJ Clark, Cortland Sutton,
Joe
Keenan
Burrow.
Allen,
Joe
T.Y.
Burrow.
Hilton,
Joe Burrow.
J.K. Dobbins.
Did you
Joe
mean
Burrow.
DJ Shark or Clark?
No, he meant Joe Burrow.
No, DJ Clark.
Joe Burrow.
Okay, I'm going with Tyler Lockett. In there.
Joe
Yeah,
Burrow.
I was gonna say like he's what's his name's number one target.
Yeah.
All right, Tyler Lockett it is. Lock it in, baby. Would it make you feel any better, Mike, if I told you that Joe Burrow is on my board?
No, it doesn't make me feel better because you should have taken him with your first overall pick. Let's give a shout out to our friends Dugout Mugs. Look, everybody, you want to drink out of a bat just like we do here on the show? Head on over to dugoutmugs.com/craft. They have the hookup for you. That'll get you 15% off your order. Baseball, full swing right now, and there's only one way that every baseball fan should be enjoying their beer, and that's from a Dugout Mugs baseball bat mug. Head to dugoutmugs.com/craft. Get 15% off your order. All your favorite teams, customizable designs, wine glasses made from bats, bat shot glasses, and bottle openers made from baseballs. Hit them up, dugoutmugs.com/craft. All right, fellas, it is time for us to lock it in. Robert Taylor saying maybe he wants to win, Mike. If he did want to win, he totally should have taken Joe Burrow
Robert Taylor,
first overall.
I think you're confused. I don't win at fantasy football. Honestly, every year when I pay my dues in my budget, I log it as a charitable donation. 'Cause that's what that shit is. Like, I don't win at this sport. I just donate money to my friends, but they don't have to feel like they're being paid. Patronized with it, you know.
All right, here we go. We're gonna talk about our picks from last week and get into our picks for this week. Let's do a quick recap and where we're at currently. Drew had a fantastic showing last week with Arkansas State. He took Arkansas State plus 19 at Memphis, and he got the win on that one. Memphis was up by 20 until Arkansas State scored a touchdown with about 7 minutes to go that brought him within 13. Memphis also had 12
God, my hair
penalties
looks great in that
for
picture.
102 yards in that game. So great pick by Mookie to account for the garbage time touchdown that basically accounted for a bad beat on this one because, man, I don't know. I was watching that one. I was like, oh, Mookie's about to lose. And I was excited he was about to lose because I lost my game. So I am 0-1. I had the first game of the year, UAB. I picked UAB minus 18 against Central Arkansas. Central Arkansas scored with about 5 minutes to go to cut the lead to 17. That was the first, not only was it the first game, it was the first bad beat of the season. Then they hit a garbage time touchdown with 32 seconds to go, cut the lead even further. UAB only won that game by 10, so screw UAB. Screw that pick. I'm so furious about that. Scott didn't do too hot. He picked Navy plus 1.5 against
fucking Mormons.
He picked Navy plus 1.5 against BYU. BYU beat Navy 55-3. So good thing you had that 1.5 points, Scott, because that would have been really embarrassing if you didn't. I found out after the game.
Just call me the Stars.
I found out after the game, Navy has not had any contact throughout all of the spring session. Nothing. They have not tackled. This was the first time they tackled since COVID happened. So what a terrible strategy
But did they
from
do
Navy.
combat training?
I don't know. Like they're not tackling.
It's shit like that I gotta be informed of, man. I mean, come on. Look, Vegas put it at a
Look,
point and a half, and they
Scott.
haven't tackled it.
I don't think anybody knew about that. I think that was a
Look, Scott,
total.
it's tough, man. You're so busy doing that hockey, you can't keep up on all the sports. I get
Seriously,
it, bro.
I can't do this college sports ball.
55
get
to
it,
3. What an ass whooping. So Scott, since you took
But
the
he got
worst,
that point and a half. Scott did.
you did get that point and a half. So Scott, since you took the worst beating of the week, why don't you go ahead?
Wait, hold on. Before we shift to next week, let's just recap what this means for our.
Oh yeah, where are we at on the bank account right now, Drew? Because Drew is
So we
actually.
started- That's right. I'm
putting
putting
this
money
money
on all
down.
these bets. So we started at $20, and the way we're doing this, because I can't trust these assholes with any of my money, so we're doing $2 bets across the board. We started at $20 last week, put $2 on each pick. These two assholes lost me $4. I won back $1.82. So we're at $17.82 heading into this week. Hey, big money, man. All right. And when you parlay that shit, but anyway,
No, don't parlay it. Don't ever parlay these bets because nobody.
No, but you round robin it. You round robin it because if Scott or Mike finally figures out how the fuck to bet, it'd be okay. But so we're at 1782 after week 1. We're gonna put down ducats on the rest of the week here. I'm pulling it up now, Mike, so I can pick them live on the bet slip here as we go through.
All right,
so
good
Scott,
deal,
go
Scott.
ahead.
You had the worst showing. Why don't you pick a number 1, 2, or 3 so that we can pick our game for this week? And just to preface this, because the NFL is back, even though we have like Power 5 football that's actually starting this week, Notre Dame has Duke. We got some legit games in the college football world. I did go all NFL this time around because NFL is back, cool. And I was kind of shocked by that. So we're doing all NFL games. So Scott, 1, 2, or 3.
I'm going to go OBJ with it. Give me number 2.
Number 2. You may not have liked that pick, although it is fitting with Gio hanging out behind you because number 2 is the Chargers -3 at Cincinnati. The debut of one Joe Burrow, but also Hard Knocks curse could
all right, hold on,
come up
Mike.
here.
We got our first discrepancy because I got the Bengals at +3 instead of +2.5.
Well, I just said the Chargers -3, which would be the Bengals +3. That is how.
I heard 2.5. Yeah, that's good. That's how that is. Well said, sir. Yeah. All right, go ahead, Scott. What you got, buddy?
He's like, correction. I have the Bengals at +3.
Yeah. So what do you know about that, Mike?
Point of correction: the Chargers are not -3. The Bengals are +3.
Boom.
Chargers also traveling across the country, right? They're at Cincinnati.
You just took what I was gonna say. It's like I do not like this at all because coming across country, and I just have a feeling they're gonna blow this with Derwin James out.
Oh, that's right, James is out.
They're gonna make fucking Burrow look like a Hall of Famer, and Mike's gonna be shitting himself. He's gonna be OBJ in it. I'm gonna take
OBJ in it.
God, I'm gonna take the Chargers, but I hate
idea right there.
Absolutely,
Idea.
I absolutely hate that pick. I'm gonna take the Chargers.
Taking the Chargers -3 against Cincinnati. Okay,
mark it down.
Fair enough. And since I have the handicap because I get to see the games, Drew, what do you want? Number 1 or number 3?
You know what? Scott took the Chargers -3. Give me number 3.
Number 3.
And I got 3 picks to my turn. So let's.
You
do
get
3.
the other Hard Knocks game of the week. You've got Dallas -3 at the LA Rams. Dallas traveling to LA, playing at SoFi. They are -3, or if you will, the Rams are +3. I don't want to.
+3. The Rams
just throwing that up. I don't know.
Oh, man.
That's gonna be the favorite thing of the season, doing the opposite every time.
Yeah.
Robert Taylor pointing out, Scott.
I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I'm going to come out hot and just make it easy. Dallas -3. I'm going to take him. Dak's got something to prove. That wide receiver core is solid. There's still that dude from Ohio State with COVID in the backfield. Plus, they picked up someone else in the offseason. I feel like they got a strong shot. So Dallas -3 is my pick.
You got Dallas covering. Fair enough.
So I'm 2 picks up. I'm in the hole, as they say.
All right. Well,
I should say I don't watch the game, so I don't know anything about the Rams.
Robert Taylor, just to go back here a little bit, he is pointing out the Bengals line is going to have trouble in that game. Nobody's going to be able to stop Bosa. Bosa is going to eat like crazy in that game, and he's 100% right. And yes, Derwin James is out.
Bosa didn't just get fat this offseason with all that money he's been stacking?
That's a good point. He did cry. He did cry when he signed his contract. We saw that on Hard Knocks.
I would cry if I signed $100 million contract. Ooh, I'm on the clock.
All right, Drew is on the clock. Drew, who are you looking at in this one?
Again, to reset, Mike Thomas, Mike Evans at wide receiver, Nick Chubb, Cam Akers at running back. We got Tyler Lockett in our flex spot. We got Cortland Sutton still available, T.Y. Hilton, J.K. Dobbins, Joe Burrow on my queue. What are we looking at here positionally? Let's see here. Ultimate Draft Guide says in round 6, you should be looking middle rounds. T.Y. Hilton, Darren Waller from Las Vegas as a tight end because Derek Carr can't do anything but take 3-step drops and throw to the check down. So that's an option.
Actually, I was just going to say, I was like, if Waller's still there and you missed out on Andrews and the other 2 top guys, then that's not a bad pick.
I like it.
I think you should probably go Joe Burrow.
Waller.
Oh, come on.
Shit.
What are you
fuck, Mike? I'm so
doing,
sorry, dude.
Drew?
I'm so sorry. I clicked too fast. I trigger happy over here.
Pick,
you know,
pick
I've
Burrow.
had a lot of beer.
Just pick Burrow. All right, fine. I'll get into my pick.
Scott, he's gonna cream his pants so hard when I pick Burrow with like my 19th pick. Like he's gonna lose his mind.
All right, that leaves me. I get choice number 1, Robert Taylor. I'm glad you're tuning in right now because the number 1 game is actually the first game of the season.
The kickoff game.
Houston at Kansas City. Kansas City -9 or Houston +9, depending on if you're Drew or not.
I got KC giving 9.5 actually.
Well, I locked this in at 9, and I'm gonna go ahead.
Well, asshole, I'm spending
I'll move
my
it.
money.
No, that's fine. I'll move it to
9.5.
9.5. I'll move it to
Actually,
9.5. That's fine.
No. I can buy points, so we can go 9.
No, it's good. 9.5 is the line that you have, so we'll go off of that line. I still think Kansas City covers that line.
I was gonna say that number sounds crazy until you remember that playoff game where
Right.
they were down forever and still beat the shit out of Houston. So,
Yeah. Also, this is like Kansas City is one of those teams that like I'm gonna be watching this game and I'm gonna tune in and they're gonna be down by 10 in the 3rd quarter or the 4th quarter. I'm like, oh shit, and then they end up winning by 30, and I'm like, oh, that's right, Patrick Mahomes. I forgot he's almost as good as Joe Burrow. So that makes sense. So I'm gonna go ahead and take Kansas City -9.5 in that game. And either way, I feel like I win this one because either I win the game or Robert Taylor gets really mad at me for jinxing the Chiefs.
No, that's definitely a win right there.
All right, so there's our picks for this week. I've got Houston at Kansas City. Kansas City given 9.5. Scott taking.
Do we want to throw a teaser on this? Not a parlay, but a teaser.
Oh, what's what? How would you like to tease this?
Well, you shift the lines. So the Chargers are giving 3, but they'll get 3. The Cowboys are giving 3, but they'll get 3. The Chiefs are giving 9.5, but they'll only give 3.5. And our $2 bet wins us $3.
Yes, do that.
Yeah, why wouldn't we do that?
Because I feel confident about all
Might
of
as
this.
well.
Wait,
right?
hang on. So
Exactly.
wait, let me just recap here. So Dallas is now from -3 to +3, right?
Yep.
The Chargers
Basically,
are -3 to
basically, we
+3.
flipped Scott and I's games, just flip the plus minus sign, and then Sherm, yours goes from Kansas City giving 9.5 to Kansas City giving 3.5.
What the shit is that?
It's called the teaser, man. It's
Right,
a parlay, but it puts the odds in your favor, but pays out lower. So you bet $2, you win 3. So the payout isn't as big, but it's much
Okay, but
easier
for
to
the-
I was
hit
gonna say
that.
that's fine. We
For
absolutely
the purposes of the show, are we going off of those lines or are we going off of the original lines? For
Oh
the
no,
purposes,
I'm betting
for
all
our
the other
purposes?
things too, dude. Like honestly, I'm not betting.
Okay, so
are you
for
kidding
the
me?
show, it's the lines we talked about. Like it's for Scott to win and get a win.
Yeah. No. He
Okay.
was just
Okay,
saying.
good,
here
yeah,
we
okay.
go.
Here we go. No,
Okay.
All right. So maybe this is a way to play it, right? Like, okay, so we suck at betting or we suck at picking sports, right? So we have to do punishments. But maybe if we win a certain dollar amount in teasers to cover our shitty picks, we don't have to do punishments.
No, I don't
I'm
like
game
that.
for
I want people to do punishments. That's what everybody wants too. Everybody wants people to do punishments. Why would we take away punishments? Like we can't take away
Okay, all
punishments.
right, hold on. Now we've only done negative punishment, right? So you do bad, so you get a negative thing. What if we do positive reinforcement where if we get the teaser, we all get to have a good shot?
Hang on, Big Scott from
I was gonna
Minuteman
say, shout
Tickets.
out to Scott from Minuteman.
Damn, chiming in on
I
the
saw that
comments.
too.
Hell yeah. What's up, Scott? Scott's saying he's hearing it's going to be wet down there in Kansas City. I don't think that matters. I still think Kansas City covers.
Man, they
I
could be
would like
playing
to
in
hear
the
what
monsoon.
Scott thinks about this teaser. How do we turn this teaser from taking a shot of Hypno to something positive? Oh shit, I'm on the clock.
Drew, all
Quality.
right.
All right. So the only person left in my queue is Joe Burrow.
Okay, so who's
my
left?
starting lineup is full. I've got no one on the bench.
Wait a minute. Who's your quarterback?
Oh, I don't have any. I'm saying I've drafted two wide receivers, 2 running backs, tight end, and Tyler Lockett as my flex. So we've got, what do we got here? DeAndre Swift, Marquise Brown, Tyler Boyd, Carson Wentz, Zach Moss, Will Fuller, Matt Breida. There's some good options here. This is round 7. We'll scroll down a little bit to round 7. Will Fuller. I don't like Will Fuller. He's burned me before. Kyler Murray's been my pick at quarterback.
I was just gonna say,
round,
I was like, who's available at quarterback? And if Murray's still there, I would go.
Joe Burrow is still there. I will say, let's see here what we got.
But I mean, you could have back-to-back rookies of the year. You could have Murray from last year and Burrow. You can still get them both.
I got Carson Wentz, Matt Stafford. Holy shit, we got 30 seconds. Tom Brady, Daniel Jones.
Murray,
this is bad.
Murray,
he ain't on the board, Scott. He ain't there.
Joe Burrow.
Oh fuck. Tyler Boyd.
Who was
Zach
the top?
Moss. Will Fuller.
Go Fuller.
Go Irish boy. If you're not going to go Joe Burrow.
Me.
No, but he's gonna stay healthy, and he's the number one for
Jarvis Landry.
No, you idiot.
Hit. I need something. I got 5 seconds. Singletary.
Fuller.
Fuck. Whoa, got it in just by the hair of my teeth.
I hope you
like
lose every game for not drafting Joe Burrow. I hope you lose every game.
You know what, Mike? If I lost every game, it'd be par for the course. So I wouldn't be being punished. It would just be another fucking fantasy season. So thanks, you dick.
Scott saying he's happy that we weren't picking against New England. You know what? That's an interesting. I'm interested to see how New England fares this year. It's a weird situation for me because I don't like the Patriots, but I want them to do well because I want Cam Newton to do well. Like it's a weird position to be in. To like a player but not like a team. You know what I mean? Like
I think that Bill did that on purpose too.
Right.
He was like, what if I go get a polarizing black quarterback after Tom? How will they feel about us then? I'm going to win with this guy that everybody has like something negative to say and who's coming off like, God, I want him to do well, and I'm curious because that defense was, like world beating last year, but everybody opted out for COVID. So, like, how do they fare based off that? Like, I'm super interested.
I am not worried about the defense whatsoever.
I really want them to lose a lot of games, but I want Cam to ball out.
No, here's what's
so you
happen.
want them? You want the
England is
Patriots to
gonna win
lose
a bunch of
51-50.
games, 10-6.
10-6. No, but Scott wants them to lose 51-50. Like that's what you want to see happen.
Yeah. Wait, so are we betting this teaser or not? Like,
yeah, go ahead, throw that. If it's an extra thing, go ahead and bet it. But it doesn't affect the show.
We got to do something.
Okay,
here.
here's the thing: if the teaser hits, we all do a shot of your favorite liquor on the show. If the teaser doesn't hit, we all have to do a shot of Hypno. Fair?
Ooh, wait a minute.
But I don't have Hypno.
No.
Go buy Hypno.
Hold on,
and also, you have to go to the downtown liquor store to buy the Hypno.
No!
And you
Obviously. Here's what we do: if we win a certain amount of money with the teaser,
whiskey.
then we all split a bottle of 18-year Macallan.
Oh, Jesus. That's a lot of money we got to...
Actually, it would be the opposite. So you had to go to the downtown liquor store. I have to go to one of these liquor stores up here in Trumpville. We got to flip the script on that.
Excuse me, sir. I would like a bottle of your freshest Hypno.
Your freshest blue drink.
Sorry, boy. We don't have none of that Negro drink up here.
Well, on that note,
but you know what they do have, Scott? They got that Boone's Farm.
No doubt. Cases.
All right.
Of Boone's.
You know what? I'll tell you what. I'll put the money in the teaser.
put the money on the teaser. Yeah, we'll figure out what to do with that. We'll text about it later. Let's get into these. We're running low on time, so let's get into my power rankings because I finally.
We roll low on time. I still have like 10 fucking rounds in this draft.
Oh wow, this is gonna be. We talked about tightening the show. Tighten it up, right? We're not going to do 2-hour shows. You can still draft. I mean, we'll still hang out with you afterwards and draft.
Can I, though?
Yeah, I'll help you.
I'll
help you draft afterwards. As soon as you pick Joe Burrow, I'm done.
We got to talk about Hard Knocks, so let's get to it.
Well, first I want to do my power rankings because that's way more important in my book to do these power rankings. So I finally caught up. I finished
the MCU.
I finished phase 2 of the MCU. JB called me out earlier. He's like, we've been in quarantine for how long? How are you just through phase 2? And that's a good point. That's fair. I also watched phase 1 early, but in my defense, I got HBO Max, and then I was watching Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and I haven't been really up on.
Bro, I told you I got that on the server. Come on. Now.
I know, but and that's why I switched it over and started watching the MCU. You didn't tell me you got it on the server until like last week. So, anyways, I finally finished Phase 2. So the last time we did this, I did Stan Lee cameos in Phase 1, and that's what we're going to continue with. We're going to do Stan Lee cameo power rankings, but these are just Phase 2. We're not combining them until the very end, until I finish all of it. So here are your Phase 2 Stan Lee cameo power rankings. Number 6, Iron Man 3. And in that one, Stan Lee was a beauty pageant judge. He was on television monitor, gives a contestant a 10. It's funny because he's a creepy old guy, but it's also not that big of a shot. Like, it's kind of in the background. I'm not a big fan of that one. Number 5, Guardians of the Galaxy. And in that one, Rocket's scanning the crowd. He sees Stan Lee hitting on a young chick. It really creeps me out that Stan Lee is always he's portrayed as this pervy old dude creeping on these young chicks. But, whatever. But I was disappointed because that cameo was not that solid. Number 4, Captain America, the Winter Soldier. Lee's a security guard at the Smithsonian. He realized that Cap stole his own World War II uniform, and Stan drops "Oh man, I am so fired," which is a good line. It made me chuckle. It was well done. Not great, but solid. Number 3, Thor: The Dark World. I love doing it this way because Thor movies rate so much higher than what they actually should because, God, Thor movies are terrible.
But wait till you get to Thor 3, my friend.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
Your life.
We'll see about that because so far, Thor movies are shit.
Everything.
Ugh.
No, I promise you, it flips
I hate him
everything on its
so
head.
much. In the Dark World, Lee's in the mental ward. He gives Eric his shoe while Eric is blabbering about the Convergence. And then when he's done,
Kat Dennings.
what's that?
Kat Dennings.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, Kat Dennings.
Yeah. Wait,
okay.
she's in that movie?
Yeah, she's in.
You
Thor.
idiot! That's how the conversation got started.
There was no context whatsoever.
Yes,
other than
it
just
was-
like,
Yes,
oh.
there
I
is.
was
Go back
talking
and look
about-
at the text.
I was talking about how I
Yeah.
can't get through the Thor movie, and Scott said even Kat Dennings couldn't save that one, and I said, meh, Kat Dennings, meh, not for me. And it started a shitstorm in the group. I realized people are not on my side on that one, but Kat Dennings just doesn't do it for me. I'm sorry.
Yeah, just like her rack, all I zoomed in on was Kat Dennings. Didn't see anything else.
Anyways, that cameo was number 3. Number 2, Avengers: Age of Ultron. He's the WW2 vet who insists that Thor give him a shot of liquor from Asgard, and then it cuts to him being dragged out, and he's just mumbling, Excelsior!
Excelsior.
Fantastic cameo. That's a great cameo. That almost was number 1, and it would have been number 1 if I didn't finish Ant-Man, because damn, Ant-Man's cameo is solid, because if you don't remember, that's at the end of the movie. Luis is telling the story to Paul Rudd's character, and Stan is the bartender in the story. So it's
Paul
about
Rudd's character. The
Ant-Man.
main character.
Scott. I know it's Scott, you asshole. I was just trying to provide some background for those who may not remember.
This seldom seen Paul Rudd that showed up in Ant-Man.
Have you guys heard of this Paul Rudd guy? I don't know if he was that was a shocker.
Blink and you miss him in Ant-Man.
Anyways, Stan is the bartender in the story at the end. Luis is telling the story about Falcon looking for Ant-Man, and Luis's cousin Ignacio goes up to Lee and says, "Yo, look at this girl I'm with. She's crazy, stupid, fine, right?" And as Luis is telling the story, Stanley mouths the words, "Yeah, crazy, stupid, fine," and I lost it. It was one of the funniest things I had seen. So
I love this ranking system. This is a
cameo
good
and Ant-Man is solid. As far as the movies, Guardians
You saw the best one. Well, you saw 2 of the best ones: Guardians and Winter Soldier, hands down.
Winter Soldier was good. I liked Winter Soldier, but I'm finding that I like these like anti-hero movies. Like I love Guardians of the Galaxy. I was a big fan of Ant-Man. It was weird that it came out like after Avengers. Like I kind of get it because it's that segue, but I felt like that was more first movie of Phase 3, not necessarily last movie of Phase 2 type thing. Does that make sense?
They've always kind of done that though, where it's like this kind of like come down to a certain degree in between the phases. So it's like they have this big build up, and then there's this one that's kind of like it almost can stand alone, not even being part of the MCU.
And it was. I thought it was very solid. That one made me laugh quite a bit. Guardians of the Galaxy was so good. I was watching that, and I texted you right away. I was like, dude, this is. I'm halfway through it, and it's my favorite one.
I
Also,
was so happy to wake up to that text.
Biscuit calling out that I'm
cute.
Biscuit calling out I'm fucking wrong, and that has to be about the Kat Dennings take. That's my hashtag hot take. Kat Dennings, not that great.
Nah, that's freezer meat.
Yeah, well, I'll kick your coverage like that with your wife, then obviously that's clear.
That's a fair point. That's a very fair point.
All right, so oh shit, I'm on the clock. I was about to say I'm on deck, but I'm on the clock now. So here's what I got lined up: Jameson Crowder, Sterling Shepard, Zach Moss still on the board. Joe Burrow available.
There you go.
Christian Kirk, Samuel,
Deebo Samuel, you son of a bitch.
And shut up, Scott. I'm trying to read quickly. We got
It's
a minute.
Deebo. You
Fuck.
fucking...
Pay attention to what's at hand here, my friend. So Jamison Crowder's gotten. He put up mad points last year with a shit ass quarterback. The other thing, Sterling we got to go Jamison Crowder here, man. Like he outpulls.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you say you were gonna pick Joe Burrow right there?
I think I did, actually. The only thing is, oh, God, why the fuck did I pick Will Fuller? That guy screws me every season. At least I have my Homer Domer pick out of the way. Jamison Crowder, lock it in.
That sounded confident.
I was looking at you, Scott.
I know you were, but I don't like that pick. I would have taken Deebo, as you called him, Samuel.
Well, see, there's the best part. Deebo gonna be here in a minute.
Also,
so you think.
Is that can you just pick him just for the Friday references? Because I just want Deebo Friday references the whole time. That's all I want.
Yeah, I pick again in 5 picks. So yeah, I'll take Deebo in 5. I gotta say though, and here's a sleeper that I think is a sleeper just because it's me and I don't know anything I'm actually talking about, but CeeDee Lamb, I bet you is going to have some points this year.
No, man. No. I'm 100% out on rookie wide receivers. They struggle on a regular year, but with no preseason and all that, like, do not mess around with rookie wide receivers. Just don't bother. Seriously.
Also,
would you mess around with a Wookiee wide receiver, though?
A Wookiee wide receiver? Wait a second. Yeah, if you had a
Wookiee wide receiver.
Okay, but wait a second.
I absolutely would draft Chewie.
Hang on.
Look,
what if the
rip off fools' arms when they stiff arm?
What if the Wookiee was a rookie? Would you still take him? Would you take a rookie Wookiee over a regular rookie or a vet? Like, where does a Wookiee rookie fall in this ranking for you?
A Wookiee rookie falls just above Deebo.
Okay, so
that's
Deebo
3 times now. You guys have both said a Wookiee rookie without stumbling or breaking back.
Yeah, I know, because I'm a damn professional, Drew. I'm a damn professional at this. Let's talk.
Wait, we get paid?
We used to. Let's talk Hard Knocks real quick.
Hey, all right, let's get into that.
Episode 5,
Deebo.
It ended. Here's what I took from this episode. Good Lord, they just cut everybody. Like everybody that it was like there was always it was like, oh man, who's gonna make the team? Who's gonna be put on? Everybody just went practice squad. The only surprise out of the whole thing was Brett Favre's dude who decided to screw over the Rams and instead went to Carolina to be with his dad. That was the only surprise. Like he was like, I appreciate the opportunity. I really appreciate the opportunity. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, I'd love to be on the practice squad. And then they were like, hey, are you coming? And he was like, yeah, I'll be there in an hour and a half. And they were like, the cut to him saying, no, he's going to be in Carolina instead. Like he just went to be in the Carolina practice squad. Granted, his college coach now coaches in Carolina. Rule is there, so
and his dad is a quality control coach.
Right.
Well,
Right. No. There's other things,
but
it was
total sense.
It was funny that he told them, yeah, I'd love to be there. Like it was that Sunday that they were like, all right, so we'll see you in an hour and a half, and he's like, yeah, okay, great. And then they were like,
my favorite part of that was how often is it that the teams straight up lie to the players or screw over the players with the guys that they bring
Samuel,
in.
lock it in.
Nice. That they do. So I love the fact that the player in this had the chance to lie to them and did, and was just like, oh yeah, I'll totally be there. And it was to the Rams too. But at least the Rams saw it coming. I mean, they were like, it's his dad, it's his college coach. Like, there's a good chance we're gonna lose him. But you're right, Mike. They did. They cut everybody. It was very anticlimactic.
very.
Like, if there was nothing that happened, and I already knew that Derwin James was injured, so I was like, when are we going to get that part where they just highlight how great Derwin James is, because they haven't done it yet? Oh, here it comes.
There it is.
They started showing all his highlights, and I'm
Yep.
like, yeah, for the layman who doesn't know, oh, he's already done for the year.
Oh, and
I mean,
they even had the line where they were like, man, if you just made a team of 11 guys and it was all Derwin James, man, they'd be baller. And then it was like, oh, he's out for the season.
like there's such a formula to that show.
There really
and
is.
It works when there's actual things going on, but when there's not, man, it was rough.
The
Like, these
players
5 episodes were not good.
The players even know the formula, because the one dude, the post show cut where the guy was
credits,
like
that
ripping
was my
on
favorite
Aaron
part of the whole
Donald.
show.
Yeah. And Aaron Donald was like, they might show this at the end. And that's exactly what they did. No, this was a terrible season. There was nothing redeeming
my
about
biggest takeaway from this is Jared Goff is every bit the bitch that I thought he was. Jared Goff, there's no way that dude is leading anybody to a Super Bowl title. Like, I'm surprised that they made it to the Super Bowl with him, but he's exactly who I thought he was.
Yep, I agree. Horrible season of Hard Knocks. I can't believe I missed preseason football, but you do, especially if you're a Hard Knocks fan. Because
Only for that show. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Don't miss preseason otherwise, but it's like without preseason, that shows.
That is a terrible
struggle.
Terrible show. Let's do a quick stick to sports. We only got a couple minutes left here, so let's do stick to sports real quick here. NFL starts this week. Power 5 starts playing this week. Cool. Let's move on to baseball. Baseball, Scott, did you know the Yankees suck?
I did.
Yeah,
I love it.
That's a good story coming out of baseball this week.
God,
The
someone
Yankees are
drafted
terrible.
Joe Burrow.
Oh, you...
Seriously, I thought this was a joke. I thought he wasn't there because he wasn't on my queue. Mike's out of frame. He's so pissed. Some idiot took him with the 93rd pick.
Oh,
what a fucking idiot.
This draft couldn't be going any better. This is my favorite NFL draft ever.
Why would you
did Mike
pick Joe
leave?
Burrow?
Mike left.
Yeah, he did. I think he's back now. They have no offensive line, no running game. Their best wide receiver really doesn't want to be there. He's going to get turf toe week 1 and sit out the rest of the season.
Their best wide receiver has the most beautiful stash in the NFL today.
Oh, yeah.
Let's give a shout out to our friends at More Labs.
Just caress that stash a little bit.
Let's give a shout out to our friends at More Labs. This is Last Call, brought to you by More Labs. Drink 1 bottle of morning recovery while you're partying. Bounce back quickly the next morning, guaranteed. Just go to morelabs.com. Use the code SPORTS at checkout for 20% off your non-subscription purchase.
Hey, so
Mike's
More Labs.
face.
I can't use the 20% off anymore because they've figured out who I am and they blocked me, which is fair. But I did order a restock this last weekend, and not only was I extremely surprised that they threw in 10 of their Aqua Hydration Plus just for free, but you can also get More Labs in more than just 6-packs now, because it used to just be sixers, and this may not be new, and I just never noticed because I'm usually drunk when I order them, but you can now get them in sixers, 10s, or 12ers, and be stocked up for a month, which is fantastic because then they save on shipping, I save on shipping. It's a win fucking win. And I'm also super excited to try their new lemon ginger flavor. So it's going to be here tomorrow afternoon, I believe, based on UPS. And I can't wait to tell you guys next week how it was.
Hit them up, morelabs.com. Use the code SPORTS for 20% off your order. This week, I was drinking Braggart's Brown from Diebolt Brewing out of Denver, Colorado. We were rating our beers this week on the NFL scale, 2019 NFL scale, from the Bengals all the way up to the Kansas City Chiefs. Scott, what'd you have in your cup this week?
I had Don't Call It Hotlanta from Monday Night Brewing in Atlanta, an 8% quadruple dry hop IPA.
And where did that one fall for you on the NFL scale from the Bengals up to the Chiefs?
I'm going to have to back it off a little bit. I had it at 49ers coming up just short of a Super Bowl title, but I'm going to go with the Ravens. So it doesn't fall that far back, but it came in with a lot of hype, a lot of expectations, and then it kind of did what I thought it would be. And towards the end, it got a little bit too hoppy for me. Damn good beer, though, but it falls short of being a championship contender.
Drew, what was in your cup this week?
I was doing Sticky Hands, the Hop Experience Ale from Block 15 Brewing Company. And we're going 2019 football rankings, you said. So I'm going to call it actually the Tennessee Titans.
Oh.
These guys were workhorses. It was a quality beer. It was strong through and through. I would drink it again, and it would only fall short against a true champion that just, look, they're sitting up there, they're floating with their ivory tower, they're flowing in thousands and thousands of dollars in to convince you their beer is better. But this one is a workhorse. It's an everyday beer. It's a special time beer. Highest of qualities. Couldn't praise it more.
I'm gonna put mine as probably put mine as the goodness, it's hard to say.
I know it's tough.
All right, here's what I'm gonna say for Braggart's Brown. It is a solid brown ale. The brown ale does not get the respect that it deserves as a style. It's not a stout. It's not a porter. It's like a step down from those. So I think I'd have to put this one as like the Eagles. Like it's one of the best of this the styles, but it's also not a style that is that great, I guess would be the best way to put that. So it's, it's okay. It's a thing and people are going to like it. It's the best of a thing that isn't that good. Braggart's
It's perpetually high ranked, but its quarterback always get hurt at the worst possible
Yeah.
time.
It's just not. It's just not the way to go for me. If you like brown ales, you'd probably really like this one. This has been Last Call, brought to you by More Labs. Again, use the code SPORTS at morelabs.com. Get 20% off your total order. Also, head on over to craftbrewsports.com/shop. Get some of our shirts that are available. We got our hockey shirt, Do That Hockey shirt, our baseball dinger slinger shirt. You got your Nuggets Please basketball shirt, your soccer shirt that advertises it's more entertaining than baseball, and our golf shirt based on my high school days. If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. craftbrewsports.com/shop to hit that up. Fellas, this has been an interesting show, man.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
so pissed at Drew right now. Like beyond pissed. at
I've
Drew.
never seen Mike's face so stern. Dude was
some other idiot
mad.
already drafted Adrian Peterson, third pick around 10.
I have no
This is what
idea.
I'm telling you, man. Oh, CeeDee Lamb's off the board. Like I told you earlier, it's not about the cards you dealt. It's about the people you're playing against. These people are insane.
It's about you should have picked Joe Burrow #1, and now you screwed up, and your season's cursed, bro. This season is cursed. If you guys,
Like it was cursed the minute I signed into Yahoo, bro.
if you guys have any fantasy questions for us, hit us up. You can follow us on Twitter at CraftBSports. Send us a DM there. Instagram at CraftBSports. You can leave a message on the drunk line if you want, 440-37-DRUNK. We will give you fantasy football advice. We are clearly great at this. Also, let me know if your quarterback is Joe Burrow, and if it's not, the advice will be trade for Joe Burrow. But this is...
Spoiler alert.
Thank you guys for tuning in. Be sure to subscribe, rate, and review wherever you guys get your podcasts.
I'm
We're
on the clock.
everywhere. Let's get out of here before Drew makes another pick. This has been Craft Brewed Sports. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll see y'all next week.
Peace. We out.